This video covers RCM's Level 1 Sight Reading Curriculum Week 2. Here's how to use this video. First, you should complete the activities in your own book. Then come here, find the video for that day, and watch it to compare your answers. Let's start with a brief tutorial for the daily activities you will find in the sight reading book. The first activity is note identification. You want to first look at the clef sign, then identify each note, then identify the correct fingering, and then play the notes. Second daily activity will ask you to demonstrate a rhythm. You want to first identify the time signature. Circling it is a good idea. Then set a slow, steady beat by tapping. Lead in by tapping the beat for one measure, and then while you continue to tap the beat, speak the rhythm over the beat. Your third daily activity will ask you to sight read a passage. You will complete the listed activities on the page, and then you'll follow the acronym CLAP to sight read. C stands for count. This is counting the rhythm. You will tap it out. L stands for look. Look at the starting notes and figure out the hand position. A, pay attention. What happens after those first notes? Look at how the intervals move and travel. Do they go up and down? And are there any phrasing marks and dynamics to observe? And finally, P is for play. Set a slow, steady beat, count in one measure, and then once you start, do not stop. You get 3 attempts to sight read the passage correctly. The final activity for the day is typically a creative activity. Read the instructions on the page, try the activity, and use your creativity. Feel free to keep experimenting and have fun with it. Welcome to Day 1's review of activities. Please complete the activities on your own before watching this video. We're going to start on Day 1 right here. So following the same pattern, we're going to start with 2 playbacks here. So play each of these melodic patterns observing the F sharp and the key signature. So you'll notice the F sharp right here. The first thing that will help you with these is if you circle all the F sharps. That way you can remember them. I'm going to start with this one here. It tells me to use my third finger starting on F sharp. That's the F sharp below middle C. C is right here. This is the F sharp I need. And this is the little melody. Good. Now I'm going to play the second one. This tells me also that my third finger for my right hand is going to be on F sharp. This is the F sharp above middle C. I know that because of that treble signature right there. This is middle C. This is the F sharp I need. And here's the melody. So once again, the left hand melody was this. And the right hand melody was this. Great. Now looking at the second here, we are going to tap this measure out. So we're going to remember to set a rhythm. First, it's 4 times. So we're going to tap 4 beats, and then we're going to speak the rhythm over it. This is how it should go. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, ta, ta. One more time. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, ta, ta. Good. Okay, now we're going to look at this sight reading exercise here. We're going to follow this instruction. It tells us to circle the F sharp in each phrase and then play this melody. So before that, we always want to look at the key signature, and it's a good idea to circle the key signature before you start because that helps you to orient yourself for the song. So we do see the F sharp there. The key of G has just 1 sharp, which is F sharp. So this is probably in the key of G. We're looking for an F sharp in each phrase. The F sharp in this phrase is right here. And the F sharp in this phrase is right here. So we're going to use clap to play this. The first thing we're going to do is tap the melody. 1, 2, ready, begin. Ta, 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 ta. The next thing we're going to do is look at our starting notes. So right hand 1 should be on D, just above middle C. left hand one should be on A, 2 notes below middle C. We're going to pay attention to what happens next. So after we start D, it looks like we move by steps and we go up here. And after we play A, it looks like we move by steps. Also, we go down here. I don't see any skips. So the other thing I'm going to pay attention to is the dynamics, which are telling me to play forte here, piano here, and I have legato markings here. So I have to also look at phrasing and dynamics. Now, the last step is to play this. When I play it, I'm going to count in one measure. I'm going to make sure I'm not going too fast with my beat, and then I'm going to play without stopping. Remember, you always have 3 attempts to get it right. You should have already tried it before watching this section. Let's go ahead and get it done, and I will be switching the camera between right and left, so there will be a small pause there that is not intended in the music. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, ta, ta. Ta, 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 ta. The last activity is something you can do on your own. You're going to use the notes G, A, and B to create your own melody based on this rhythm pattern. That means that the song, the melody that you make is going to have this rhythm pattern. Ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, ta, ta. And that is day 1. Welcome to day 2. Please make sure to complete the activities in your own book before reviewing this video. So we're going to start by playing each of the melodic patterns up here, observing the F sharp in the key signature. So always a good idea to circle the key signature. It helps set you beforehand to make sure you're really paying attention to what's there. And the next thing we're going to do is actually circle the F sharps that we see. So in the right hand, I see 2. And in this left hand, I see 2. So how do I know this is right and left hand? Well, treble clef, right hand, also tells me to play a 2, and it's pretty obvious it goes up. Bass clef, left hand, tells me a 2, pretty obvious it goes down. So let's look at this one first. I will show you how that is played. This is middle C here, and the E that we want is this far above middle C. So a full octave and 2 notes, and here is your melody. One more time. Great. This second one right here also starts on F sharp. This F sharp is the one just below middle C on the piano. That is right here. This is your melody. One more time. Great. Now we're going to look at the rhythm pattern here. So this rhythm pattern, you can always circle the time signature to help make sure that you are following the right time. We are going to be in 3/4 time, 3 beats a measure. Here's how it goes. 1, 2, 3. Ta, 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 ti, ti, ta. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Ta, 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 ta. Ti, ti, ta. Great. Now we're going to look at the sight reading pattern here. So once again, I'm going to have you always begin by circling the key signature. We have F sharp, just like we did up above and in day 1. So we are following still with F sharp, which is usually going to be the key of G. So we can see here that our 3 is on B, which means our thumb will be on G, so we'll be right in place for the key. So we're going to follow what they are asking us to do and make sure that we circle the 2 F sharps in the left hand part. So that will be right here and right here. Okay, now following clap, we will start by tapping out this rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 ta. Okay, looking at where we start, 3 on B we already identified, and then our other hand will have a 1 on G. So we're going to have both thumbs on Gs. This G is just above middle C. This G is just below middle C. Now let's pay attention to what happens after that. Here I see that we are moving in steps, and I know that because we're always going from space to a line and line to a space. And here I also see that we are moving in steps. Now this pattern looks different. It looks like it goes up, down, down, up, down, down. Sometimes before you play, it can help to draw little arrows up, down, down, up, or sorry, this one should be up, down, down. That can help. You don't have to do it, but sometimes it's helpful when you have patterns that are changing like that. And then this looks like it's all going down and all going up. I do notice that this bottom note is not a C. That bottom note is a D, and that might be a little tricky, so I might write in the D right there to help me. Okay, now I also need to look at the dynamics, mezzo forte, and at the phrasing. I have 1 legato, 2 legatos. My last thing is going to be to play. As I play, I need to make sure I set a slow tempo. I'm going to count in. I'm not going to stop no matter what. And as I play, I'm going to keep my eyes right on the note heads because that's the best place for me to pay attention while I'm playing. So looking at the piano here, I'm going to start with my hand right here for the right hand. I am going to be switching my camera in the middle, which will give a small pause. 1, 2, ready, go. Left hand. I'm going to play it one more time for you. Remember, you always have 3 times, 3 chances to get a sight reading sample correct. 1, 2, ready, begin. Okay, for the last challenge today, it says to play today's #1 pitch and fingering patterns, singing as you play. Then play each pattern again, singing instead of playing the last note. Okay, so this is going to help us a little bit with our ear training. We're going back up to the right hand, and I'm going to sing the note names. You could also sing the rhythm patterns if you want. So that's my beginning note. 1, 2, ready, go. E, F, G, F. Okay, so this time I'm not going to play the last note. I'm going to try to sing it. 1, 2, ready, go. E, F, G, F. Okay, let's look at the second one. We're down here in the left hand. F, E, F, G. This time we're not going to play the last note. We're going to sing it instead. Here we go. F, E, F, G. And that is day 2. Welcome to day 3. Please make sure to complete the activities in your own book before reviewing this video. Here our instructions tell us to plan the fingering and then play. So I know that that is an F sharp with my 4th finger. It looks like it's a step up. So I'm going to say I should probably play that with my 5th finger, and that's going to be C. So I'm going to say that should be my 1st finger. Okay, let's try that out. So on the piano, it starts F sharp right here. Ready, go. F, G, C. Great, let's look at the second one. So G to D, that's a 5th, so that's 5. This is going to be 1, and that's just a step down, so it's going to be 2. So looking at the piano, that G is just below middle C, right here. Here I go. G, D, C. One more time. G, D, C. Looking at the next one, I am in the bass clef again, so still for the left hand. It says this is a 4 on G, and I can tell that this is a 4th because I'm moving from a line to a space, and even intervals move from lines to spaces or spaces to lines. Odd intervals move from a line to a line or space to space. So I know this is a 4th, so since that's a 4, this is going to be a 1. And this here is going to be a 2. So let's try that out. There's a middle C, and I'm headed down here with my 4th finger. One more time. We have one more of these to do, looking right here. That is in the treble clef. That's my 1 on G. And I know again that this is a fourth for the same reason. It moves from a line to a space. If it was a second, it'd be really tight, right close together, and it's not. So I know this is going to be from my first finger to my fourth finger. And then this right here is a skip. So I'm going to skip 1 finger and go to 2. So let's try that out on the piano. This is middle C. G is right there. Here I go. One more time. Okay, let's take a look at this rhythm pattern. It's always a good idea to circle the time signature to make sure that you're paying attention to it. This is 2/4 time. That means a quarter note gets a beat because I have a 4 on the bottom, but there's only going to be 2 beats per measure. So we're going to count in 2 and then we're going to start. 1, 2, ti ti ta, ti ti ta, ta ta ta. I'll do it one more time. 1, 2. Ti ti ta, ti ti ta, ta ta ta. Great. Let's look at the sight reading example for today. They want me to circle the C major triad formed by the last 3 notes and then play this melody. So the last 3 notes are right here. And those are a triad. They are C, E, G. Let's use clap to set ourselves up. First, we see no sharps or flats over here, so we know that we're in the key of C. And if we look here, well, actually, first we need to count, sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 great. Now we're going to look at our starting notes. So this right here is on space 3. 1, 2, 3. The pearl is in the C. That's a C right there. And it tells us our pinky is going to be there. And here, this is an E on the bottom line. It tells us our third finger is going to be in there, which means our thumb will be on C. So we're going to be in C position. Now let's pay attention to what happens next. We're going to go up by steps there, but this is a skip. And then we'll step down. So I notice this is a skip because I see it going from space to space. So I'm going to put in the skip there so I help to remember it. And then here, it looks like we go up by steps. And as we already know, because we circled this triad, those are both skips down. I'm also going to notice that it's mezzo forte and that I have a legato slur there and a legato slur there. Lastly, I'm going to play it. I'm going to count in. I'm going to keep my eyes right here on the note heads as I play. I'm going to make sure I'm not counting too fast. I don't ever want to sight read with a super fast tempo. And I'm going to keep playing no matter what, even if I make a mistake. So it starts with left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, 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 ta. You always get 3 chances, so if you didn't get it right, try again. I'll play it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 Good. Okay, so this last one tells me to play the F major pentascale, ascending and descending, using the rhythm reading pattern. That's that right here. And it tells me if I do it correctly, I'll end on the tonic. And the tonic is the bass note for the scale, so that would be F. Now, the F pentascale has 1 flat, so I need to have my 4th finger on B flat there. Everything else will be white keys. Here I go. Ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta. Ta, 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 You might have done it with your left hand. If you did it with your left hand, it will look like this. 1, 2. Ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 and that is day 3. You have made it to day 4. Please make sure that you have completed the activities in your own book before reviewing this video. To plan the fingering. So as we know from yesterday, this is all about intervals. So hopefully it went a little bit easier today. So this note to this note right here, it has to be an odd interval because it goes from a line to a space. It starts with 4. I see that that's a fourth. So this right here is going to be my first finger, and that's just a step down. So it's going to be my second finger. So that's my planning. I see it's in the bass clef. That first note is a G. It's not the G right below middle C. It's the G further down. So here I go. One more time. Looking at the next set of notes, it tells me my 1 should be right here. And once again, they're using a lot of fourths. All these fourths look the same. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 4 here because I know that's a fourth. And then this right here looks like a skip. So we're going to skip over 1 finger to go to our second finger. The first note here is treble G, just above middle C. That is right here. And here I go. One more time. Okay, we're going to move on to the next one. I see my 3 is on F sharp, and that looks like it's just a step. So I'm going to use my 4th finger because that will be the next one up. And then this is a skip. So I'm going to skip over my 3rd finger and go to my 2nd finger. F sharp just above middle C, I know because it's treble clef. Go right here. One more time. Okay, moving on to the last example here. It tells me my 3rd finger is there. It's going to be left hand because it's bass clef. And I see that it's skipping right there. So I'm going to skip over my 4 finger, and this will be my 5th finger. And then this right here is a 5th. Remember, the odd intervals go from a space to a space or a line to a line. And this is going from a space to a space. It's not as close as this, so it's a 5th. So I'm going to use my 1st finger there. The first note is on B flat, just directly below middle C right here. So here I go. One more time. Let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is our rhythm exercise. So I see right here that it's 4 times. So you always want to circle your time signature. Circling it will help make sure that you're paying attention to it. We're going to count in 4 beats because this tells us there's 4 beats per measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ti ta ta. Ti ta ta. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ti ta ta. Ti ta ta. Okay, let's take a look at our sight reading example for today. It tells us to check the time signature and the key signature before playing. So I see here a key signature that has F sharp in it. So I know that every note that's F sharp or that's F is going to be sharp unless it has a natural sign. So I see an F right here and I'm going to circle it to help me remember that it's sharp. And down here, I don't see any Fs, so that's my 1 sharp note in this song. Now, it also wants me to look at the time signature. I'm going to underline that. It says 2/4 time. That means that there's only going to be 2 beats per measure. The next thing that I want to do is use clap. So the first step of clap is to count. We're going to tap this out. We're only going to tap in 2 first before we begin because it's 2/4 time. 1, 2, ta, 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 ta. Great. Now let's look at where we start. This tells us our 3rd finger for our right hand is going to be on G. And this tells us that our 1st finger for our left hand is going to be on C. So I know that if my 3rd finger is on G, my 1st finger is going to be on E. So my hands are just going to be separated with 1 note in between them. Now the next step is to pay attention to what happens after that. This looks like a step down. And this is a step up, and these look like repeating notes. Down here, this looks like a skip down because it goes line to a line, and this is a step down. So skip, step. I'm going to go ahead and write my skip in so that I remember it, and I'm going to circle these double notes so that I remember that they don't move. I'm also going to look at the dynamics, which are forte, and I'm going to look at the phrasing. I have 2 legato slurs that I need to make sure that I am observing. The final step is to play. So always start with a slow beat, always tap in 1 measure before you begin, Always keep your eyes on the note heads as you play, and always keep playing no matter what. Do not stop and start again. So we're going to go ahead and see how this should look. This is where my right hand starts. 1, 2, ta, 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 and then left hand, ta, ta, ta. There's more of a lag between my left and my right because it's just a quarter note beat. When you played it, there should not have been the lag there. So I'm going to play it one more time. 1, 2, ta, 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 ta. Remember, you always get 3 attempts. So if you don't get it right the first time, try again. Okay, finally, play a root position A minor triad, broken, then solid. Sing the root, followed by the third. So that means to sing the first note and the third note. So we're working on our ear training with this. So a triad in A minor looks like this. That's broken when I play one note at a time. So let's sing it. A, C, E. Now we're going to play it blocked. And now let's sing the notes from memory. A, C. That is day 4. Congratulations on making it to day 5. Please make sure to complete the day 5 activities in your own book before reviewing this video. Final day of sight reading for week 2. So we're going to start with these up here. Plan the fingering, then play. We know now we have to look at the intervals to plan the fingering. This is bass clef, starting with my thumb on C. That looks like a skip, so this is going to be 3, a step, so that is 2. Let's play it on the piano. This is where it goes. It looks like this. One more time. Moving on to example 2. Treble clef is going to be the right hand. This is D, and this to this, that looks like a 5th. I know because it's space to space, so it has to be an odd interval, and they're not close together, and they're also not super far apart. So that's going to be 1 to a 5, and this right here is just a step. I am noting that it's a G sharp, so I know that has to be a black key. This starts on D, just 1 step above middle C. This is how this one goes. One more time. And now I'm moving on to the next one. I see another treble clef. So this is again for my right hand. I see my 1 goes on C, and this is a 4th. I know that because it moves from a line to a space, so it has to be an odd interval, and it's not super close. It doesn't look like a step. So this is going to be my 4th finger, and this right here is what a step looks like. That's a 2nd. So that's going to be my 3rd finger. I also see that's supposed to be a black key. My thumb starts on middle C. Here's how this one looks. One more time. And looking at the last one, it says bass clef. This is going to be for my left hand. It says my thumb's going to be on C. That looks like a 3rd. It has to be an odd interval because it moves from a line to a line. I'm going to play my 3rd finger there, and that looks like a step. It's a 2nd, so I'm going to play my 2nd finger there. Once again, I have a black key at the end. So 1 on middle C. This one looks like this. And I think we already played that. It's the same as the very first one. Okay, let's move on to number 2. We're doing a rhythm exercise. The first thing we always want to do is circle the time signature. That will help us remember and pay attention to what it is. 4/4 time means 4 beats a measure. We have to count in 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta. I'll do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta. Great. Let's go ahead and do our sight reading example for today. So check the time signature and key signature before playing. So I see there is 1 sharp here. I know when there's 1 sharp, it has to be F sharp. This is probably going to be the key of G. So let's look for any F sharps before we begin. I don't see any F sharps here, but I do see 1 F sharp right here. So I'm going to go ahead and circle it so that I remember that it is sharp. I also see that the time signature is 3/4 time. That means that I'm going to have 3 beats in every measure. Okay, let's go through clap. The first step of clap is to count. So we're going to count in 3 because it has 3/4 time. 1, 2, 3. Ta, 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 ah. Now let's look at what our starting notes are. So this says 2 on B, and this says 1 on D. So if my second finger is on B, then my thumb is going to be on C. This thumb is going to be on D. They're going to be right next door to each other. Now let's pay attention to what happens next. So from here, I'm doing a skip because it moves space to space, and those are the same notes. So I'm going to circle them. And then I'm going all the way up to C, and then I'm doing another skip, and those are the same notes. Here I'm doing a skip, and then I'm going up to G. I notice that it's mezzo forte and I have legato slurs here and here. So now all I have to do is play it. I'm going to start with a slow beat. I'm going to count in 1 measure. I'm going to keep my eyes on the note heads as I play, and I'm not going to stop no matter what. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Remember, you always have 3 opportunities, so if you did not get it right, you have more opportunities to try. Finally, let's look at all the notes in today's sight playing melody in order from lowest to highest. Which note is needed to complete the 1 octave G major scale? So lowest to highest: G, A, B, C, D. Do you see an E? I don't see one. F sharp, G. So we are missing E right there. And that concludes this week's activities. Congratulations on your great work and dedication to this program. You have completed week 2 of the sight reading curriculum.